But yeah, let's start this video. Why melted bugs on candy and lemons fuel 167 million industry? Big business. I want to see what it's about.
This amber goop comes from bugs, and you've probably eaten it before. It's a natural resin called shellac, and once it's stretched...
Wait, they said you probably ate this before. Would you eat this shit? If you knew you was eating this shit? Bugs? Made into candy? Alright, let's see what the fuck.
And cooled. It's used in tons of ways, from adding a shine to popular candies like jelly beans, and preserving citrus fruit, to finishing wood. Its history dates back 3,000 years in India, where it was originally used to make jewelry and adorn palaces. India is the world's largest shellac producer, exporting over $65 million worth of it a year. But fluctuating harvests and prices have put this ancient industry at risk.
शेलक के काम में शुरू से लेके लास्ट तक चैलेंजेस है रह सकते हो नहीं तो इसमें इस बिजनेस को करना काफी टफ है
So how exactly do a tiny insect's excretions end up on your candy and lemons? We head to India to find out.
And lemons? The fuck they mean, the lemons?
The Karyalaka insect is teeny, barely big enough to see with the naked eye. In June, farmers implant broodlac, or the mamas, onto new tree branches. Their babies will hatch and spread out. As they suck the tree's sap, the females secrete an amber-colored resin. When it hits the air, it hardens, creating a protective nest. This is what becomes valuable shellac. This curved knife, called a daoli, is the most important tool for farmers like Turlin Dan. She climbs up to 20 feet to reach the small branches where the insects grow.
Yo, I give it to her. This lady's pretty big climbing that tree, you know? A lot of y'all motherfuckers ain't never climbed a tree. Look at her. Look at 160, 180 pound woman. And look at how she up in that tree. Y'all need to get outside.
She has about 100 of these lac-infested trees.
पेड़ चढ़ने से डर भी लगता है किधर फिसल जाए तो हम नीचे ना गिर जाए उस सब को भी थोड़ा सोच के चढ़ना पड़ता है
Yeah, well,
It
no.
can take as many as 300,000 insects to make just 1 kilo of shellac. That's where the lac insect derives its name, from ek lakh, meaning 100,000 in Hindi. Turlin can harvest that in 1 day, but it takes her 2 more to scrape it all off. She uses the same daoli.
पेड़ की कटाई छटाई करने के लिए हम लोग को दावली का इस्तेमाल करते हैं
She sells the lac to a local market, earning $7 a kilo. That's where Manoj Sodaogi buys it.
$7 a kilo. She's selling that shit like drugs. This is bugs for your candy.
His factory sources raw lac from 4 states and processes over 500 metric tons a year. It all starts with crushing and washing, which is the most challenging part. Cleaning the lac for too long could lower the yield.
और अगर आपने कम वॉश कर दिया तो आपकी क्वालिटी बहुत इंफीरियर हो जाएगी इसीलिए उसको आपको पूरा मेंटेन करने के लिए परफेक्ट वॉश करना चाहिए
Appreciate you, Suzy.
Then the lac has to dry to prevent mold and make it easier to extract the resin. During winters, Manoj's staff leaves the lac in this yard for an hour and a half. In hotter months, it takes about half the time. They have to watch it closely, since too much heat can turn it black. That's considered low quality and won't fetch as much money.
ज़्यादा हीट पड़ने से क्या है कि वो जमने लग जाता है
Damn.
तुरंत ही उठा के ज़्यादा लेबर लगा के तुरंत उठाना पड़ता है
Next, the workers assign it one of 4 grades, depending on the size. They'll remove small sticks by hand. This machine separates any remaining stones from the mix.
अगर इसको क्लीनिंग नहीं करेंगे तो इसमें काफ़ी ज़्यादा इम्प्योरिटीज हो जाएंगी, मेल्ट करने में भी प्रॉब्लम आता है, इसलिए इसको क्लीनिंग करना जरूरी है.
The workers put the lac into a cloth tube that looks kind of like
You see how they grab that shit though? They grabbing that shit with their bare hands. And then you taking that shit with your bare hands and eating all them jelly beans. Just saying. Just saying.
a giant saw. They twist it so the mixture moves toward the kiln and spin it until the lac melts.
Looks like some taffy.
The saw collects any leftover rocks or sticks that might have snuck in.
What the
They
fuck?
spend at least 6 hours a day spinning the tube and stoking the fire that burns at 167 degrees Fahrenheit. In the summer, it can get up to 113 degrees in this factory.
What the hell? What is that? Those jelly
These
beans?
symmetrical circles are called button shellac,
Button shellac.
which are used to make bangles.
Fuck are bangles. What the hell?
Workers also spread it across this tool
Like
called a
bracelets?
pippa to make sheet shellac. They use a palm leaf to spread it out evenly. The workers remove it once it's cooled.
Mm-hmm.
Then they stretch it out even more, using their hands, feet, and teeth.
Whoa!
This is how
This is shit I'm talking about. And we be eating this shit. Using bare hand. He has the shit in his mouth! In his mouth, his hands, dirty as fuck, and then his two big toes at the end of this shit. And you wearing the bracelet, and you eating them gummies and candy. And it's all made out of bugs. What the fuck?
shellac has been made for centuries.
ये जो है, ये
We've been
पूरा
doing this for
machine product है.
centuries.
इसका जो टेम्परेचर रहता है वो काफ़ी डाउन हो जाता है, उसमें से स्प्रेड जब करता है तो वो हार्मफुल कहीं भी नहीं रहता कुछ भी.
They'll pull it to an even 5 foot by 5 foot
This
square.
guy pulling it with his mouth.
These sheets will be used to polish candies, cashew nuts, and fruit.
What?
Machines have largely replaced the traditional hand stretching method. This one presses out thin sheets, sort of like a pasta maker. It processes most of the factory's lac, making shellac 4 times faster than by hand stretching. The workers give it one quick tug and then rip it off. They'll hang it up to harden and cool.
That looks like
and then
some
chop it
wax.
into hair-thin pieces.
Smoke that shit.
These will stiffen into shards, exported around the world. Manoj can sell the refined shellac for almost double what he paid for it.
Yo, this is crazy. Not only is their feet in this, hands in this, they mouth on this, motherfuckers, these girls had their ass on this. Did you just see that? And it's already made out of bugs, just so you know. We're eating ass. Everybody was eating ass, but you didn't even know. It's crazy.
Indonesia and the United States are his biggest customers.
See?
The U.S. is also the
Indonesia.
world's largest importer,
Oh
buying
my
up roughly
God.
a fourth of all Indian shellac.
Oh my
It's been
god.
valued for 3,000 years for its versatility. One of shellac's earliest uses was as a rich crimson dye. The insect's excretions also made a strong glue and added a shiny, water-resistant finish to wood and leather.
What?
In medieval Europe, artists mixed it into paints. In the 1800s, it became the base of gramophone records before the invention of vinyl. Through the 1900s, it was a popular finish for wood paneling in American homes. It also made its way into pharmaceuticals, coating pills and tablets,
What
and
the hell?
food, as a glossy glaze for candies, fruits, cakes, and nuts. Today, the global shellac industry is worth over $167 million.
Yo, no wonder we only live to 70 years old, man. We eating ass, feet, bugs, and even the pills we get prescribed are coated with shellac. And shellac is made out of all that shit you just seen in India. Wow. This is something I wasn't expecting this. And like I said, look, they said most of it is sold to the United States. They don't give a fuck about us. FDA approved. FDA approves everything.
And more than half of the world's supply comes from India. The US Food and Drug Administration allows it as a food-safe additive as long as it's listed on the ingredients list
Shellac.
as shellac or
I gotta look for
confectioner's
that.
glaze. It's in treats like Junior Mints, jelly beans, candy corn, and Whoppers. It's also often dissolved in alcohol and sprayed onto citrus fruit. The waxy coating wicks away moisture, extending the fruit's shelf life. And that gloss makes for a more eye-catching lemon on grocery store shelves.
Yo, this is new, man.
Thousands of people in Purland's village depend on shellac for a living, but the price has fluctuated a lot. In 2022, Purland could make $12 a kilo. Now the price is half that. So she started farming ducks for additional income. She also grows rice and vegetables.
She gotta get that money.
That's because raising the storied insects has gotten a lot harder, largely due to the climate crisis.
It's crazy.
Intensifying rainstorms have washed lac off tree branches and led to fungal infestations. More extreme heat is drying up the trees that are the insects' main food source.
समझ आने तक कि इसमें क्या करना है, कीड़े मर
What
जा
needs
रहे
to be
हैं।
done in this next
Vijay
time?
Kumar Vidu works for an NGO that helps farmers research why their insects are dying.
जहाँ पहले किसान इस तरह से अपने बारे में बताते थे कि जब मैं लाह का काट के लाता था तो पूरा घर भर जाता था, आज के समय में उन्होंने इसकी खेती कम की है।
His organization educates farmers on the benefits of using fungicides, which can increase lac production.
What?
अभी जो पहले नेचुरल लाह होने का ये था, अभी उसको बोल सकते हैं कि साइंटिफिक लाह हो रहा है।
There's gotta be a better way. There's gotta be a better way.
Armed with a little help from science, Indian lac producers are fighting to keep raising their amber insects for generations to come.
Yo, I don't know, man. That was dirty. That was dirty. Tell me not. That wasn't dirty? That was dirty. That was, like, did you know? What I wonder is who took the bug goo off of trees and chopped it up and melted it, filtered it, put it on wood, things, and then said, hey, bet this would be great to eat. That's what I'm saying. That was, wow. We eating that shit. That's all I gotta say. We eating that shit. FDA approved. FDA motherfucking approved.